Yeah, I saw where you put Final Four Special Edition. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, here we are, the Lonestar Sports Show. Getting it all where it needs to be. Coach, we back in town. Been a long weekend, live at the Final Four. We've gotten plenty. March Madness gave us a good solid dose of what it was that we were looking for. March Madness never really disappoints. It never really disappoints, but sometimes it's a little bit better than other times.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's always you know, I'm a big proponent of really truly believe in the fact that that everything in sports and a lot of things in life is all about the moment.
That's right.
So whatever you're doing right now, if it's pretty good, it always seems like potentially one of the greatest things that we've ever done or been involved with. But the reality of what's your biggest memory from March Madness, Coach?
For March Madness or it's from San Antonio? The whole March Madness? You talking about the whole
final? Both of them.
The whole 64?
Yeah, the whole 64 to tournament, and then going from the tournament to Sweet 16, Elite 8, then getting to San Antonio. Give me 2 moments prior to San Antonio and 1 moment after San Antonio, and I'll follow up with you and do the same thing.
Well, you know, I mean, you got to talk about the story of Loyola.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it gets no bigger than that.
I think the one thing, and I agree, you know, a lot with you there. I mean, a whole lot with you there. That's probably my second moment. You know, I had them picked to play in the championship game and didn't quite work out that way. I'll elaborate on that more here in a little bit.
Well, that wasn't the first time that you was wrong, though. I mean,
no, it wasn't the first time. Yeah, it wasn't the first time.
Good gamble.
Second or third time.
Second or third. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, it come right back here, back to the usual. But to me, the biggest thing was the turnout of being at Showcase Dallas versus Showcase Houston. Headed to dinner that night. What's the place we went to go eat dinner that night?
Oh, down at
your spot. You like it?
Over at Phil and Derrick.
Phil and Derrick. We headed to Phil and Derrick.
That's my new spot.
Your new spot.
Mm-hmm.
We headed to Phil and Derrick, and I'm on the phone. A guy that I've been dealing with a lot of recruiting, and it's kind of funny. It just flashed through my head. He was doing some stuff prior. He said, "Well, you know, we got Virginia in the first round." And so I'm saying to myself, you know, out of all due respect, I said, "Well, okay, I'll talk to you right after that's over with. Get back on this recruiting." And what I'm saying back in my head, so we get a number 16 to beat to 1.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever forget that, just being back in Houston, hadn't been in that Sugar Land area, coming out of Wheeler Fieldhouse with a lot of memories. Mm-hmm. It was a memorable evening for me, and I think the cap off was for UMBC to beat Virginia, a number 1 seed, and only the number 1 seed.
That was a big one.
Yeah, with the number 1.
16 versus 1.
Well, 16
number 1 over the
overall. There you go. That's what I'm getting at right there. So I thought that was interesting. That's probably my most memorable moment. I've seen runs like Loyola, and what's our buddy name? TABC buddy. What's coach's name? In Loyola in Chicago.
Oh, Porter.
Porter Mosley. Yeah.
Porter Mosley.
Yeah. I've seen those kind of runs. You know, I was visiting with Shaka Smart when they were in the middle of the run, and we talked about, you know, the VCU and when he was there and him going to the Final Four situation, you know, and what that's all like, you know, the intensity of it. And I thought it was a great run, but to me that 16 and that doesn't make is it a 1A and 1B? No, I think it's a 1 and a 2. I think the Loyola run as a 2, UMBC beating a number 1 seed, which has never happened.
Right.
You know, so that's why I'm probably potentially higher on that piece there as my biggest piece. I think if Texas Tech probably potentially were one of the most competitive teams I saw play Villanova all year long. I'm giving them all due respect.
All
there.
tournament long.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's a couple of battles over there in that Big East tournament.
Yeah. So people got a hold of them.
But those are guys that play them, twice.
Twice. Got a chance to figure them out a little bit more.
So those games are always going to be.
I was really proud of the Texas Tech run. Texas Tech beating Stephen F. Austin. I thought that was a hell of a game.
Coach, you can't get to the end if you can't start.
Yeah. Oh, you got.
Know what I'm talking about?
You got to go through some things.
That first one gets you actually in the tournament.
Oh, I thought the victories of Texas Tech over Purdue and Texas Tech over Florida were impressive types of wins, and then they get to Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
They make it all the way to the Elite Eight. Augie, we were interviewing, and he was on the show on the set there at Live at the Final Four at the Leaping Lizard this weekend. I said Sweet 16. He said, no, bring the Elite Eight. I said, well, Coach, I was getting to that. I really wasn't getting to it. I actually forgot. Coach wasn't gonna let me forget though.
No, you get up. Yeah, you. Sometimes you got to watch you. You get in there and get the hell in them a little bit.
Take away some of this.
Some of the
frosting, huh?
Yeah.
Some of the achievements. No, it wasn't anything like that.
Got to have it all, Coach.
I guess that's my boy, man. Good kid, good people, man. I mean, remember when those guys were all there at Texas, and it's kind of memorable. That's when I was actually really getting deep hands-on into the business, when Augie was playing grassroots basketball and going to the University of Texas.
Oh, okay.
So that's always, that's why he's kind of special. That's kind of my class of guys, 97.
Yeah. Well, y'all had it going on over there at Texas during that time with TJ and them was over there. Y'all can just walk around. Yeah. All the guys, all the Houston superstar guys just kind of, everybody else in there working camp. Y'all somewhere else. What y'all doing? Y'all cutting the deal, Coach? Cutting the next deal?
No, probably over there trying to retain John Urey to have some sanity about his process.
Oh my goodness,
that was a full-time job, Coach.
Yeah.
They would tell you a story one night. Well, we were out in Las Vegas, and we're gonna get back on the Final Four in March Madness. Well, we were in Las Vegas one night, Coach, and we were playing the Oakland Soldiers with Mark Olivier and them. Had a good team. They had a real good team, and they had a good team, and we had a decent team.
Okay.
But we had a couple high-level guys. So Cody Augustus could shoot it really, really deep.
Cody Augustus.
Played down at Mississippi State.
I know what you're talking about.
And Cody was probably legit 6'9", maybe 6'10", but could really, really shoot the basketball. Kind of remind you of Dirk Nowitzki. Kind of got around bad.
John had him over there at A&M walking around. Snoop, he's a pro. He's a pro. Snoop, you better tell him he's a pro.
What league he was a pro in.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, here's a story.
Cody has some talent.
John's job he was a hype guy. He didn't coach the team. I coached the team, and he hyped them up.
Gotcha.
So they had a wall full of coaches. We went back there in one of them little bitty gyms in Vegas, the back gym.
Oh, yeah. It was
tight back up.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember who.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah, Mark Olivier. But the wall was covered. So, Mike Krzyzewski, and I remember real well my man that said at Tulsa now was in there. Frank Hay. Because I just remember the expression on his face.
Frank had been in Texas by then, huh?
He was in Miami.
He was already in Miami by that time?
He was in Miami.
Oh, yeah, Cody Augustus. I'm thinking, okay.
Cody Augustus, 2006.
He was with Cody and them.
Yeah, that's 2006. And so the coaches are lined up. So every time we change ends and go that way, we playing offense on this end. And so in the second half, we're playing defense on that end. So my job is that when the team goes down there, up come John onto the court trying to handle the coaches. When we get ready to get transition.
I know John put on a show with that deal.
Get ready to transition. The job was it'd be get back coach the team at the same time. All right, John, get back here. They go.
Oh, John, I know John put on the show.
He put on the show, Coach.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, he put on the show. John, get back over here, man. Come on, man. We right here. Man, we end up losing that game, man. Fooling with John. Anyway, I'm trying to manage John and keep a transition defense.
Right, they're yelling at referees and carrying on.
Oh man, all kind of stuff, man.
Tournament directors, he looking for whoever.
Anybody he thought he could get it across on. But no, it was a tremendous deal. When you look back over the tournament, and we'll talk about the Final Four.
Yeah.
In San Antonio when we come back in the next segment. But when you look back over it, I thought Kansas State had a good run in the tournament.
Great run. Kansas.
Yep.
I mean, Kansas was playing hot, but I'm saying if you look at Kansas in late January, if you looked at them in late January, would you say they was there?
That's correct. You would say they were there.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
Right.
And that's the whole thing about kind of what I'm getting at a little bit here is that, you know, the kind of runs. Probably one of the most disappointing teams in the tournament was Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I mean, and not disappointing because
I know what you're saying.
but I'm disappointing how they end up finishing up. You know, I thought was a situation.
But the one thing about it, Nevada wasn't no fluke though.
No.
It wasn't a fluke.
No, it was not. It was a clear cut. They beat Texas, they beat Cincinnati, and then Nevada loses to Loyola. You know.
Yeah.
And I thought they would win that game, although I thought Loyola was tricky. Yeah. You know, and obviously ended up being
Loyola was solid. They were solid, coach.
They were solid.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, they can start this process over again. Now I don't know if they beat Florida in the, you know. I don't know if they didn't play Florida. UMBC beat Florida, but I don't. Who did Loyola beat?
Loyola had a clean run. I thought the biggest win they got was Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that was Tennessee and Nevada were some of their toughest wins. They beat Tennessee, Kansas State, getting up through there. But I thought that was
Loyola beat Kansas State.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big win.
Yeah, they beat them in the.
I mean, when you're talking about teams that's really playing well,
they beat them in the Elite Eight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought Kansas State had a good run. Like you said, when you go back,
you
got to realize where Kansas State was in the Big 12.
I'm telling you, coach. They was in the bottom division,
bottom group, coach.
Yeah, they was in the bottom group for a while.
Well, yep. University of Houston.
We probably had to get that coming back, coach.
Yeah. Yeah, we
get that when we start back.
We'll come back, you know, the interesting piece there. We'll come back. But we're right here today. Show is brought to you by FastMallSports.com. Right here in the middle of concluding the end of March Madness and in the Final Four, and got plenty of other things going on. NBA draft we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Major League Baseball has moved out of spring training through opening day and getting down into the nitty-gritty of getting that season, that long drawn out 160 game season.
We got in another segment. We got one of the biggest names in sports joining us tonight. And David Robinson,
in sports training, football. David Robinson,
no, one of the biggest names in sports. Because you can't talk Cowboy football or draft without talking David Robinson, wide receiver guru. We'll have him at 6:30.
Yeah, he coming in at 6:30. So we're going to come back and talk a little bit more March Madness and a little bit more of our final take on the Final Four. Be back in 180 seconds with more the Lonestar Sports Show. This today,
Coach, you got to act
brought to you by FastMallSports.com.
You got to act like you're happy to be back in the studio. You kind of missing San Antonio, or either San Antonio got you drained a little bit.
San Antonio might have me drained. I had a long day today, Coach. Yeah. This particular segment is brought to you by Hartem Hotels. Put your money where you sleep. Hartem Hotels investment and developers located right there in Houston, Texas, where they are headed up and operated and function out of there. Go take a look at HartemHotels.com and learn more about the value in putting your money where you sleep. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. Hey, here we are back here at the Lonestar Sports Show right here on the Lonestar Sports Network. Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Lady Life, and Under Your Money, the Prince, getting us where we need to be. Transitioning to some level of producer, engineer, whole process in training. Lady Life has become executive operator around here. Lady Life sitting over there hanging out with her buddies on social media and texting and running her life and teaching and training at the same time. We'll see how all that's going. We definitely are making progress here at the Lonestar Sports Show. You got Snoop Johnson and Alan Branch. We're sitting here breaking it down, talking about our experiences at the Final Four, talking about our March Madness experiences and what those were like. And was there a particular region that you thought that you enjoyed more than maybe some of the other regions, Coach?
I would have to say when you're looking at the regions, I would have to say the region that had Duke, where Duke ended up playing against Kansas.
Okay, Midwest region.
The Midwest region.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think I got a lot out of the East region. Spent a lot of time watching the East and the West because of University of Houston and Texas Tech, both being in those areas. You know, we all things sports, all things Texas. I make no qualms about the fact that I am partial to Texas players and Texas teams. So that kind of moves you around all over the place, you know, because Texas players go everywhere and play.
Right.
And then we got our share of teams. So we got in. Couldn't get anybody to the Final Four, but we did get a good group to the Final Four. Loyola of Chicago, Michigan, Villanova, Kansas. I had Loyola of Chicago beating Michigan, and give you some thoughts about that game there. I did have Villanova beating Kansas, and actually Snoop and I were 1-1 on that deal. Snoop had Kansas in, and had Michigan in, and I had Villanova and Loyola in to play for the championship game, and you got Michigan in.
Yeah.
And I got Villanova in.
I mean, I was feeling Villanova. You know, I had to do it. I mean, that's just one of the ones you just go with.
Coach, you've been over there helping them in practice and stuff. Y'all didn't realize.
No.
Snoop Johnson, he don't want. Hey, Bill, you don't want to hold up now. See, y'all didn't turn the corner. He been over there at the closed practices and Coach, you remember need to take a look at this right here.
No, I ain't. Hey, that's Bill.
All I know, I saw.
That was Bill and Larry Brown there.
Hey, all I know, I saw the practice bus heading to the arena, and you come up missing. I wasn't there. I can't say I saw it with my own eyes.
Coach.
You and Bill gonna keep that one a secret. Okay, I'm okay with that. It was closed.
I was with Honey, so me and Honey and the Prince, we was going to get something to eat.
They got Honey where Honey been down there. Honey been down there hanging out all night long. So now Honey,
well, you gotta
have an alibi.
You gotta be an alibi, Coach.
Honey gonna say, yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
What y'all do?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we had one hell of a time. We enjoyed ourselves. It was Under the Prince's first Final Four. Under, you got any thoughts about your first Final Four? You got the mic right there in front of you. We got to get to the NBL here in just a second. But tell me what you think.
Well, it was just a really good networking opportunity.
Okay.
That's what I kind of took from it, and just the whole atmosphere. And
yeah, turn yourself down. You trying to big boy. You trying to big boy. He trying to sound like the. You remember the old Wizard of Oz?
He sound like the Wizard right there.
Yeah, he trying to sound like the Wizard. You know, the Wiz.
Everybody be quiet.
Yeah, you try to big boy us.
That's not the case. I just thought it was a really good network opportunity, and just the whole atmosphere and the, mixers and everything like that. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, I think I got rid of all the business cards. We'll get on some more business cards.
Oh, he had to stack up. He had to stack up over there first.
You saw him in the room.
Yeah, they started trimming down. I mean, I don't know who all he was giving them to.
He was giving them out.
The waiter downstairs, the security, that bellboy, everybody. I'm on it.
Yeah. I didn't get out there and get to work around there in the valet and stuff.
But you don't never know.
The guy and tell him who.
That's how you do it. Yeah. You don't never know who they might be.
I need to get his name out there. They'll make no difference who listens to it. They'll figure that out.
That's right.
I didn't want to give them to you. Give them away.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick. And I know we gotta squeeze the baseball, which ain't gonna be a lot to talk about because the Astros came in and dominated us. But what you think about the girls' game?
Oh man, boy, I just love the way that young lady. She took a big shot.
She did it 2 nights in a row.
Right.
Well, not in a row, but 2
nights. Right. Yeah. I mean, two games in a row.
Yeah.
But I just like the way she squared her body. She knew when she was turning that corner, and she she was still squaring. You know, you and I talk a lot about squaring.
Yeah.
She was squaring the release because she knew that she was that far off balance. So she was, it lets you know that she had really done a lot of work, because throughout the process, when she's coming around that corner and she's knowing she's going to get that shot off, everything she's doing is get herself back square with the goal.
Yeah.
Even to the point of adjusting her release.
Yeah, she shot that. She didn't throw that up there. She shot that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
She shot that. And I mean, we're going to talk about it on another show, but
that's exactly what I'm saying, Coach.
I mean, the crowds at the girls' game, sellouts.
Were they really? I wasn't that much on top.
And they not in small arenas. They playing in arenas. They not playing in the football stadiums like the boys are now.
No, they getting 18, 20,000.
Yeah, they getting them in there, Coach. And so I'm looking at it wondering why the sponsors can't jump on that in the WNBA. You know, I mean, salaries will go up. And
very
the games are exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls' WNBA schedule is not as long. I would love for the NBA schedules to kind of tone down a little bit. You know, we
to like a 72.
Really, I would love to see. I would love to see
82 now, right?
Yeah, 82. I would love to see them cut down about 62.
Yeah.
You know, about 62. I don't
65,
think. Yeah, 65. I don't think it takes away. They say it'll take away the salaries. I don't think it will. I think the reduced games make the sponsors that much more. I think the sponsorship goes up.
And I think the viewership will be more because, you know, you'll have those games kind of mean more.
That's what I wanted to do. See, and that's what the girls, it means something from the start. Yeah. It means something. So, you know, but that's another show. But the Astros came in and dominated us.
Coach, let's go back.
3-1.
You the baseball guru.
They got us 3-1.
Yeah,
we struggling a little bit. We 1-4. We lost last night.
Coach, I didn't know they played that many spring league games. I thought they played about 10 or 15 spring league games.
They played a whole month and a half.
Coach, they played 30. I got them at 31 games.
Yeah.
Astros played 31 games.
Yeah. But the real boys don't probably play with about 12, 13 of them. You know. They don't play with about 13, 14 of them.
Right. Yeah, I did not realize that.
The later they get, they'll start playing 5 innings.
Right. Playing a little bit more.
They don't never play over 5 innings. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
They want to get themselves ready. But, you know, baseball players, a lot of them sometimes will go play in the winter. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they don't need that much no way.
Right.
You know, the good ones, they playing winter ball.
I can see that. But let's go back to this Final Four game before we dive all the way into baseball right now. Villanova and Michigan.
I mean, Coach, it was dominance. You know.
Let's talk about Loyola and Michigan. Loyola had a chance to win that game.
Yeah. Well, Michigan had a chance to win the game yesterday too. They jumped out to an 8-9 point lead in the first half.
But we know what's so impressive about Loyola to me is that they went 10 minutes shooting terrible at 4 points and was still only down 2 or 3 possessions.
Well, that was the
kept playing defense.
Michigan, it hurt Michigan and it hurt Loyola. The fact that you can't even go back and call out and know who their point guard is. You know, you got to have a point guard, you know, when you're playing against some of these teams. You know, I mean, you look at Villanova. Mm-hmm. When you call Villanova out, who are you calling out? Brunson.
No, there is.
I mean, sometimes we look at, I mean, when you got a point guard because you got some stability.
Mm-hmm. Well, I totally agree. I can't argue with you.
When things get out of whack,
I think
they know how to put it back in place.
Well, they know how to steady the ship at the time when the ship, you know, needs steadying.
Right.
You know, I mean, I always say my famous words is, you know, a race car with or without a steering wheel.
That's right. That's right.
And DaVincio goes out and has.
Well, he's been good. He's been good.
He's been a good player.
You know, he's been good. And the one thing about it is that Brunson got in foul trouble. So, you know, he had to change his role. I mean, he's always been a scorer, but he had to go take more of the.
Turn into a little bit more of a combo.
He had the ball in his hand more. Yeah,
right. Make good decisions with the ball. Doesn't make him just a pure point guard.
Well, what he made him is a first-round pick now.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, because
we're gonna get it. We got that in the second hour. We're gonna be talking about that situation.
It made him a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. Putting that ball in his hands, the things he showed he could do with that ball on the pick and roll.
Reminded me of Jeremy Lin.
You can say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, that was what came to mind when I watched him play. And tell us about your Kansas Jayhawks.
Well, Kansas, Devontae Graham and those guys, I just still felt like the thing that finally caught them was the fact that one of your best scorers, I just felt like he got wore down, at the point guard position, and then Villanova did a great job of identifying who we can help off of, and they helped off Marcus Garrett, made him be more of a role that he really didn't sign up for.
Didn't sign up for it. Maybe not even his strength.
And definitely not his strength. His strength is facilitating for 4 other guys.
I read some articles today that did not include Marcus Garrett, and that really made me scratch my head about that situation.
Talking about with Kansas. Yeah. That's what I told you. I already told you about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little alarming when you started projecting to the 18-19 year, and he was absent from the projections. I thought that was kind of a tricky deal.
But you got the little point guard for Chicago.
But congratulations to Jay Wright and another fine job. Fall into the small fraternity of roughly 3 or 4 coaches that have won.
What's Villanova's mascot?
Wildcats.
Wildcats, okay.
Chris Walker feeling real good about it.
My fault, Chris Walker.
Yeah, Chris
Walker.
Wildcats. Chris Walker going to handle you on that one.
Yeah.
But while we're in the mood of handling right now, Coach, we 4-1 and y'all 1-4.
Yeah, we 1-4.
Won the regular season, Coach. Yo, about like 7-22 in the spring deal.
Yeah.
Spring training. What's going on, Coach?
We just patching some pieces together, coaches. We patching.
Is it going to be that kind of a year? I mean, y'all fought back and made a good run.
Could be. The one thing that's
Astros got better on paper.
Oh yeah. The one thing that's positive that can keep you looking in the right direction is the fact that the Rangers, they're in those games. It's just like they just you just playing a really good team. They were on you. The pitching hadn't been bad because they wasn't giving up them big innings early. Like Houston just scores 1 inning, 2 inning, and end up and they got 8 or 7. So I think the Rangers take from that. Last night they was 1-1 all game and they gave up 2 runs in the 8th inning and on 2 hits, and there it is. A hit and a walk and a double. So hey, maybe they bounce back again to Oakland, go try to steal the series, and record looks a whole lot different. When you play 162 games, you really don't get excited about game 50.
No, you don't. I totally agree with that. We come back from the segment. We're going to take a look at some NFL draft, pre-draft workout stuff. We're going to have David Robinson, the guru, the wide receiver guru. We got quarterback gurus. We got the witch doctor, the one that comes in and gets the route trees right for the careers of these young guys that are going to be catching touchdowns and making plays. And you'll talk all about his whole world and what all he has going on. This particular segment was brought to you by Fast Scout 2. One of the Fast model products has taken technology to another level in basketball right now. FastMallSports.com. Back in 180 seconds with more Lonestar Sports Show. Stoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Lady Life, and Honeymoon Money. The Prince, getting it in like where it is. Be right back. 180 seconds. Hey, here we are back here at the Lonestar Sports Show right here on the Lonestar Sports Network. If you're there on YouTube, hit subscribe. Lock in and listen and see what's going on. Go back and catch these shows. You go back and Google and look at it. We've had plenty of stars on here today. This particular third segment right here at 6:30. We got a star on right now.
Thank you, Coach. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. One thing about it, we got the guru of route running and route trees and getting guys and showing all the tactics. David Robinson here. Coach, one thing this man will tell you, and I'm going to let y'all take it and I'm going to step back and let y'all go with it. But running routes is all about timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to wait till your time, Coach.
Well, hey. Well, we're going
Coach, he trying to throw the ball. He trying to throw the ball too early on the break. The ball will be there the wrong time.
I'm gonna throw the ball to him. Hey, we got Mr. Quick Twitch. We got Mr. Always Open. We got in the honor of the late Ken Harrison, we got Airport Seeking himself on the line. I got my boy, I got my little brother on the line, little David Robinson. What's up, man? What's up, D?
Hey, what's going on, fellas, man? Hey, I'm just honored to be on the show, man. The Cowboys chose me, man.
Hey, man, you know what? We had to try to hear up and get in. So I mean, I would hate to have been knowing you so long and letting all the national people get you on the line before we get you on right here in the hood, right? Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We just had so much basketball, and with us, with our basketball backgrounds, we just had so much to talk about the last couple of weeks. We had to get through this NCAA stuff, man. And we work our way. Yeah. We knew this day was coming because it's almost draft time. Last year this time we had your partner on there. Clay Mack was out there in Arizona. We had him online, So.
Oh man, that's awesome! I see y'all boys making moves, man. I love it.
Now we got the wide receiver guru. I'm gonna let you. I know how you got started. I'm gonna let you. Let's start there so people can kind of catch on and kind of know your background as far as you as a player, work your way up, coaching, and all the way to where because some people don't realize this didn't happen overnight. So let's hear from you, Dave. Let tell the audience.
No. It definitely didn't happen overnight. I played my high school ball at I finished at Kimball High School, and from there I played at University of Oklahoma or whatnot. And then when I got done playing, I just started substitute teaching around DISD. Mm-hmm. And when a lot of guys get done playing football, they try to figure out their next move and things like that. So when I was at Kimball, I just started training their guys in the off season, the players that they already had there, because I was helping subbing and stuff like that throughout the day, and I was just helping the head coach out because they didn't have any off-season program. Mm-hmm. So I started training those guys or whatnot, and they gravitated towards it, and me and Clay Mack linked up, and we started training at Kimball on the weekends and started training also at Lancaster on the weekends with kids. And shoot, we looked up, man, one weekend, man, we had like 80 kids from all over the Metroplex, man, from Allen, Grand Prairie, Mesquite. I mean, they was coming from everywhere, Irving. So I was like, man, we need to turn this thing into a business. So, and that's happened like 12 years ago, man. That's what we did. We turned it into a business. I was coaching at Kimball, and I was doing the training on the side. And I was making dang near much what I was making training as I was teaching at Kimball,
Yeah. You remember,
so you already know it gotta make sense.
If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
You know what I told you.
Exactly.
You remember what I told you that one day? I told you what you waiting on. What you waiting on?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
I knew this day was gonna happen because you first of all, you guys had names. See, that's the thing. Y'all didn't have to start from scratch. Y'all already had names around the community. Like you said, it got out to the north, the deep north side so quickly that it made y'all kind of scratch your head a little bit. But you got to remember, Clay Mack was living out that way at that time too. Up north,
right.
Up north. So you was down south, he was up north. And even though Clay was raised down here on this side of town, Clay was living up there. So it was a lot of people that I knew that used to ask me, hey, man, I met your boy Clay Mack that was up north. So, you guys, y'all started with a name, and then you guys had resumes as far as been there, done that, as far as on your level, Clay Mack, I sat right there with him, one of my best friends, So I walked the walk with him. When his professional, his dreams of playing pro, with the knee injury. I saw that. And then you got a guy like yourself that was as talented as can be, but hey, God had another plan. If you was 3 inches, 4 inches taller, man. You'll be just now retiring or getting close.
Yeah, and the way the game has changed now, they looking for more guys like around my height, my size. You know what I mean?
Right.
5'10" and under.
Yeah.
So I think I was a little bit ahead of my time on that too.
Well, this was
because they was So but now that's all they're looking for. Little Jakeem Grant, little Tyreek Hill, Kansas City, Amendola.
That was you right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You was. But see, that's the thing. When you whip your tape out, all you got to do is whip out your tapes. I remember the practice you showed me up at Kimmel one day, the little practice footage. When y'all was doing some one-on-ones, up at Oklahoma and some 7-on-7 stuff, and I'm looking at it like they should be starting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
you out there just, you killing it. You killing it right there. So the
people that really know me, that grew up with me and stuff, and it doesn't surprise them to what I'm doing now because they always knew that I was a route runner.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean. That's what I did.
But more than that, you was a route runner. That's the football side of it. But the one thing about it, you was raised in a family of people that know how to go get it. Your family, you're in a family of entrepreneurs. Coach, his family is Roosevelt. Most of his family, they come out of Roosevelt.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, all of them come out of Roosevelt.
All of them. Yeah.
I'm sitting there next to a Roosevelt guy right here today. So he don't know.
Are you really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, about class of he by class of 80, 81, but sometimes he go on and act like he's class of 59.
Roosevelt wasn't even open.
I know it wasn't 59. It was consolidated with somebody.
Just spending time with Aaron Wallace today, man. So it feels good about Roosevelt.
But Cole, let me tell you this about little Dave, and I'm gonna let you jump in now. I see you start switching about this Roosevelt now. You gonna spend half the time trying to find out who are with Roosevelt.
But look,
let me tell you this, Cole. Let me tell you this. If Dave chose to continue just in coach, Dave was a good coach, man. Mm-hmm. Kimball, we really, really took a hurt piece when Dave left and went full time into that on our freshmen. Mm-hmm. Dave had them freshmen, man. When you get when you get that kind of teaching, you see what I'm saying?
That's all.
You get that kind of teaching. Plus, he had that kind of drive to want to win. So you want guy. He used to treat the freshmen like a varsity. Mm-hmm. And that's what you look for for all you high school coaches, basketball, golf, tennis, baseball, football. You look for somebody on the freshman that wants to treat that like their varsity. That's what you like. I remember hearing that from my dad a while back, and that just always stuck with me.
Rabbit Thomas used to always say that. That's why he never promoted Willie Price. He said, because he needed Willie Price starting with the young guys. That's the foundation of what you're going to have when you got there.
Dave, real quick, name off some of your family members that was at Roosevelt, probably more in the early '80s. I know, Locke, Metlock, and all them and his sisters. No. But I'm saying
is that James Medlock? I played with James Medlock.
Yeah, Jason Medlock, Rusty Medlock.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember him. And my aunts that went there, Tereska Medlock, Tosca Medlock.
There was a James Medlock.
Jocelyn.
There was a James
Jocelyn Medlock. That's my mom.
Yeah, I know your mom. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He said a James Medlock. You familiar with James?
He left.
I'm not familiar with James Medlock.
He left and moved away. He may not have been related to y'all. He wasn't else with us last year. He left and moved to Lamarck, Texas. We saw him at the Texas Relays and the state track meet. Yeah, big time half miler, quarterback, receiver, real natural athlete.
Yeah, well, see, I met Dave. Dave was a little boy when I met Dave. He'd see his uncle, Jason Medlock. I knew him when my daddy was at Roosevelt, and then we ended up being down in Navarro at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's a different group of men.
Because Jason was he was a little younger.
Right.
Jason come out in I think '88.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. But anyway, he had left A&M, transferred to Navarro. So we got a chance to really, spend some time down there when we were down there every day together. I was down there.
So what high school class were you in, Dave?
I graduated 2003 out of Kimball.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a strong class, that coach.
Young fella, real boy.
Yeah, that was a strong class,
Football,
man. We had me, Michael Adams, who went on to play for the Arizona Cardinals for a while, the Bucks. You had Patrick Thompson. We had London Thibodeau. We had Big B. Granger was a young cat coming up.
Two-way sport.
Philip Tanner was young, up and coming up at the time.
Philip was young.
We had a little squad.
Philip was younger than y'all.
Philip was a sophomore, freshman, I believe.
Yeah. Dave.
Yeah. So and then we had Keith Houston. You can't forget about boy Keith Houston, man. I gotta show Keith some love.
I thought that was gonna be that one team when Lil Dave came over there, because that's why we needed. We had Patrick Thompson over there. We needed another receiver that could go. And
man, when Coach Lark left, that hurt us.
Yeah, when Coach Lark left, but that team right there, Coach, because I remember when they was freshmen. See, Dave was over at DeSoto when these boys were freshmen.
Yeah.
Dave was over at DeSoto, big time sprinter and receiver and all that kind of stuff over there. And again, his uncle was just telling him, he was just like, man, I got my nephew here over there killing it, boy. If he was over at Kimball, So.
Dave, let me ask you a question. You only train receivers, is that correct?
Yeah, I only train receivers, tight ends, and running backs that that want to learn
to catch the ball,
running routes, catching the ball, things like that, hand-eye coordination drills. I do with them. So
H-back type guys are in a situation like that.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, no, that's interesting. That's definitely a part of the process. I guess about 40, somewhere between, depending on the team, 40 to 60% of the downs. Incorporate the pass. Is that about right? Yeah. In the NFL.
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah, in the NFL. Yeah.
Hey, Dave, stay on the line right now. Stay on the line. We're gonna bring you back to the next segment. We're finna go strictly into this NFL stuff when we come back. We just wanted everybody to get to know who they listening to. If you look on the Lonestar Network right now, we got a little picture up there, Dave. Over there, we don't have the receiver that you're working with on there, because this is all about you right now. So they got to figure that out on another episode right there. We got the guru. We got the guru on the line on Lone Star Sports Network. Long time coming. It's almost draft time. You here with Snoop and AB. Lone Star Sports. We back in Dallas. We fresh off the Riverwalk.
We'll be back.
We'll be back in 120 seconds. We're going to find out what's going on over there at Valley Ranch with Dez Bryant and our guru, David Robinson.
This segment was brought to you by Lone Star Challenge. Lone Star Challenge, the NCAA certified event, will be coming to Cedar Hill High School in conjunction with Under Armour basketball. Right now, we're looking at over 100 teams that'll be involved in that situation. We'll probably be matching that with another 100 recruiting and evaluating coaches during that same time. April 20th through the 22nd, the Lone Star Challenge. Take a look at TexasGrassrootsBasketball.org to get more information. I think all the registration stuff is just about over with, unless you're going to a waiting list right now. We're starting to work out the pools and moving it on along, and we'll start sending scouting reports out to college coaches at the conclusion of this week. Lone Star Challenge. This is the 8th annual Lone Star Challenge, brought to you by Texas Grassroots Basketball. Back in 120 seconds with more Lone Star.
Back in 90 seconds.
Be right back at you.
Hey, we back here at the Lonestar Sports Show on a terrific Tuesday. Boy, the weather is so good. It was raining hard earlier today, Coach.
Oh yeah, I ran into it on
the
north side.
But you know, in Dallas, when it rains, the sun come out.
Oh yeah.
Hey, this next segment again is sponsored by
good time of year, man.
Yeah, this next segment is again sponsored by the Lonestar Challenge, coming to you April the 20th through the 22nd in the Southwest Dallas, hosted the home base for be Cedar Hill ISD.
In conjunction with UA basketball, they want to make sure we get out. Spend some time with the UA basketball.
In conjunction with UA basketball.
Say, man, don't leave us out of the commercial.
Well, I had my mouth set. You just took it, let it come out.
What I tell you about.
Okay, let it come out.
We got the man.
I told you, I'm trying to be
the man of the hour.
I'm trying to be like you.
Yeah, we're gonna teach you how to get that time.
Get the slur. You know my stuff is smooth. I just, I try to even. I try to even it out. Hey, but
D-Rob, you have no idea, man. Yeah, you have no idea.
Well,
this worse than brick hands right here.
This segment right here, Coach. This segment right here is gonna be all about D-Rob always open.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
I ain't never seen a receiver worth his salt that wasn't always open.
Hey, that's what he said, always open. Hey, Dave. We might as well get straight to it. First of all, how proud it was me sitting over there. I always tape some of my other favorite talk shows. Not gonna name off of the names, but I tape all of them because I'm big fans of a lot of those talk shows in the morning. So I don't get a chance to watch them during the day. So I'm sitting at home. I usually cut them on about 12 o'clock when I get ready to go into bed and stay up for about another hour and a half, 2 hours watching talk shows. But I'm sitting there, and not on one channel, but two channels. And I hear him say Dez Bryant has finally decided to work out with a receiver guru. And then they said David Robinson. Mm-hmm. Boy, I tell you, I went and shook my wife. My wife used to teach David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she taught David up at Kemp. So I shook her and I say, you got them TVs now, you can go rewind it.
Right. Oh, yeah, you can back it up.
Yeah, I bagged it up. I say, baby, listen to this and then go back to bed. Boom. David. I say David has arrived. He already been moving around the country. So they've been knowing him around the world, around the country. Cool. But I'm saying
I'm going to, obviously David Robinson is who he is, but I want to give some credit to this boy to realize he needs some help.
Yeah.
Go get some help. I've been on it. It's been a long time. I've been in football, and football has gone a long ways since back in the 80s when I was playing. But the fact is, man, the ability to run routes. That makes getting open a whole lot better. Makes making catches a whole lot easier.
Well, I remember when some of the guys used to say that when those guys was getting ready to come out, that they were saying that Jerry Rice, that Deion Sanders was trying to get Jerry Rice to work out with Dez and Crabtree, back then. So I don't know if it ever happened or not. But let me tell you this, because I know you said you're giving him some credit for finally reaching out to get some assistance, because David already been working out with
he's already
kid.
a
No, I'm
guru.
talking about the kid that we liked out there with the Cowboys, Bryce Butler.
Yep, right.
They came in and worked his way up, to now he just got to do 2-year deal. They will let you hit on that in a few minutes. But the thing is, Coach, the thing that really that got the whole situation is that Dez, his contract was young, he was athletic, and his money was steady going up. You don't realize you had a problem until they try to take some of your money away from you.
Well, that's exactly right. And and when you look at this situation, David, I'm just I'm first of all, I want to give you as much attention as we possibly can give you. Proud of you being in the situation, but when we get back to the fact of what let me ask you this question: what would make which guys do you feel that are more conscious of their craft? Older guys in the middle or early guys that probably are trying harder to make it. What's your opinion about that? Because you obviously are the craft developer or the guy that comes in and analyzes a guy and shows him how to get better at what's going to do to keep him in the league.
Yeah, mainly guys year 1 through 4 are the guys that come that'll be on a consistent basis that are the most hungriest to eagerly work on their craft. Mm-hmm. Guys that has been in the league 5 to 7 years and beyond, they'll start to work on their craft a lot more once they get older, like when they get hurt or something like that. But then you find guys that have been working on it, like Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. AB met me through, Emmanuel, and they both got drafted in the same draft class. So the first 2 years, Antonio Brown was on the practice squad and doing special teams. So he would, spend his time in the off season working on his craft, getting in the lab, perfecting his technique, and just staying ready, for when your time came. And then Emmanuel ended up getting hurt, broke his ankle, and AB ended up getting activated, and he had his first kickoff return and took it to the house. And then, that was all she wrote, because that off season, Pittsburgh didn't re-up Emmanuel, and that's when he hit the market, and that's when Denver signed him.
Right.
But that's just, you just always got to be working your game, because it's just like basketball. I tell all my receivers, playing wide receivers, just like, when you're playing basketball, you always find those hoopers in the gym, shooting, working on their shot. I always find hoopers sitting on the ground, dribbling, just, constantly getting that muscle memory, fingertips, having the ball, being just getting used to handling the football. So it's a skill. You got to do it a lot. So if you're not really working on your craft a lot and stuff like that, and as you get older up in your game, and you haven't set the foundation early from an early age, you're gonna lose a step or two, and it's gonna be frustrating to you because you can't get open because you never did master the foundation on how to get open at an early age. You was just muscling people or just getting open just because you was a big athlete.
How did the
go ahead.
No,
I heard him talking about Alabama earlier. I was about to ask about this Calvin Ridley guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him get to that, but I want to find out how did the Dez Bryant introduction? How did that go? How did y'all connect?
Well, he's been knowing about me for quite some time through Bryce Butler, like you had mentioned earlier. Him and Bryce play on the same team. He knows that I work with Rico Gathers, Ryan Switzer, Lance Lenore. So he knows all those guys come out there to train with me and stuff like that. So this past off season, he just texted me, man, out the blue, and was like, man, it's just Dez. I want to get with you. I've heard a lot of great things about you. And congratulations on your wife and a new baby and stuff like that, because I just got married.
Yeah, I know about that. Congratulations on that.
Yeah. So he hit me up and was like, I want to work with you. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I just let me know when you're ready. And then maybe like a few weeks later, James Slater, NFL Network reporter, she gave me a call. And I got that connect through, Dez. He told her that, I guess he referred her to me. So she called me and was like, yeah, Dez wanted me to reach out to you or whatnot and just, talk about you guys training and what you guys are going to be doing and things like that. I didn't even know that he was going to have a call me or nothing like that. So
well,
that's
Dez. Dez still understand the situation. Now, the one thing about it, they could say a lot of things about Dez, but slow with it. Dez is handling his own marketing. I mean, he understands.
He understands. Yeah.
He understands that. Now you might have just let the cat out the bag right there. But Dez planted his own seed, coach. To let them know that Dez is working on everything they said he didn't have. He's working on that right now.
Right.
And it didn't come out of his mouth. It came out of this young lady's mouth.
Well,
over the NFL Network.
Right, yeah. No, and it got to that point. And I admire. I've always liked Dez. And sometimes talent can be a gift and a curse. And when you got that kind of size. And,
that kind of talent, man.
Yeah, that kind of talent, you get along for so long. And I think going through that turf toe or whatever a label they want to put on it, his ability to cut and kind of move and do some different things. Now you got to get smarter.
And you're getting older.
Yeah, and you're getting older. That's why you bring a David Robinson in. David, I got a question for you. Something that's kind of baffled me, and I'm not all the way on top of it, so you just kind of clean me up. But right now, do you kind of see there maybe only being 2 receivers projected in the first round of the NFL draft?
I didn't get that last part. What was that now?
Could you see there only being 2 receivers taken in the first round?
I can see that. I don't think it's going to go that way.
Okay.
With the because it's a passing league. So anytime that you have that you're in need of a receiver and that you're hurting at the receiver position and you can find a young kid that got the juice in his legs, you're gonna go after him. And all of those 3 receivers, guys, that I've gotten ready for this year's draft. Calvin Ridley out of Alabama.
Out of Alabama. I was about to ask you about him. Projected.
Yeah, Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk out of Texas A&M.
Okay.
and also Cortland Sutton out of SMU.
So
all three of those guys.
All three of those are for first round. Those are the three I was talking about. So all three of those are your clients.
Yeah. I had a few years ago. A lot of people don't know. A few years ago, I had three or four first rounders. Go Laquan Treadwell, Corey Coleman,
I remember that.
Josh Doxson, Evan Ingram. He went, and Sterling Shepard went to the top of the second.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, and in the past 2 years, I've been blessed to work with back-to-back Biletnikoff Award winners. Corey Coleman, he won the Biletnikoff 2 years ago, and then last year, Dede Westbrook won it.
Dede Westbrook
out of OU.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
He got hurt early, but he came on. He came back from that injury. I was surprised. I was surprised he came back.
Yeah, he had a sports hernia, so he didn't play the beginning of the season. He came back like in week 9.
Okay.
But they really are high on Dede because, as you can see, Alan Hearns is out the building, and Robinson is out the building.
Well, you can look at where they took.
You know what I mean?
You can look at where they took him. Real quick, we're gonna make an adjustment. We're gonna bring you back a third segment if you okay with that. You know.
Yeah.
If you got the time. But before we go to the break, real quick, I want to ask you: is it any names that has an opportunity to slide in that first round that's
not in there?
That's not in there right now on most of the mock drafts.
And the word is opportunity.
Yeah, because you familiar with these guys.
Yeah, I would say the receiver out of Maryland, DJ Monroe.
DJ Monroe.
Yeah, DJ Monroe. I think he's a guy that's people have been talking about. That's probably the best receiver in the draft that they like over Sutton and things like that. And also, I forget his name, but the big receiver out of Memphis too.
Oh yeah. Now the kid from Memphis, his name has been kind of trending up, and the kid from Maryland, they had him on a lot of mock drafts at the end of the year as a first round pick.
At the end of the year,
I don't know what it is, but his name is trending. Now I ain't gonna say trending down, like spiraling down, but
it's not as hot as it was.
It's not as hot as it was. So we got to figure out what's going on with that. We're gonna have D-Rob always open, David Robinson back with us at a third segment because there's so much to cover. I don't know what we was thinking about when we put when we set the schedule up early, but we want to cover everything. This is a special NFL pre-draft edition of the Lonestar Sports Show, and we got some more of those coming over the next couple of weeks leading up to the draft.
We're talking about receivers tonight. We got the great David Robinson, always open right here on the Lonestar Sports Show on the Lonestar Sports Network, where it's all things sports, all things Texas. Right here now, we're about to move into a break. We'll be back in about 180 seconds with more Lonestar Sports Show. This particular segment is brought to you by Hartem Hotels. Hartem Hotels, put your money where you sleep. Right there with Hartem Hotels Development and Investment based out of Houston, Texas. Go take a look at HartemHotel.com and learn more about how you can make your money work while you're awake and while you're asleep. Back in 120 seconds with more. Captain David Robinson, always open.
Why you
Back in here from the Lonestar Sports Show right now, giving it to it like it word is. All things sports, all things Texas. Today's show is brought to you by FastMallSports.com. See how they're leading basketball into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology. Getting it all where it is. Right now, we've got David Robinson, always open, top in the world at developing, training, tuning, enhancing NFL, college, and high school receivers.
Coach David starts out way before that. I'm gonna tell you how much of a hustler he is now.
Okay.
If you really go in there and get on there real early, I don't know if I'll be on my Instagram or my Facebook Live or something like. Coach Dave.
You got a boot camp working people out there.
Yeah, they got the boot camps over there working them, working people out trying to stay in shape.
No, I know what you're talking about. I need to go see Dave. They had me over there they had me on something. I was supposed to be getting up at 4:30 and going down and running the hills down there Bob Knight.
Well, I mean, people don't realize success starts early in the morning. Dave, you get up. I mean, I know you got to be fatigued after the workouts, and then you got to go home and you spend some time with your wife and your baby and everything, and you got to get ready to start it all over again. You know.
Yeah, man. Hey, I don't know what it is. I'm a soldier though. I roll out of bed pretty much every morning. About 4:30, 5 o'clock, man, and I get it. And I'm up. Yeah. I got the energy and everything. But I'm young right now. I'm pretty sure, as I get older, the schedule and stuff will switch up and change.
But that's
right now it's go mode.
I told you, you got that in you got that in your family. You got that in your bloodline now. I'm telling you,
you'll never stop waking up early. That's gonna get worse.
well, hopefully you hit the hopefully the way things is going, you're gonna hit an age to where you're gonna have 4 or 5 people working under you.
Right.
Exactly.
and that is, that is always open academy gonna start.
I'm gonna show
right.
somebody a little
I always go with the juggler, Dave. I'm going for the juggler.
Yeah. You gotta have people up under you. You gotta have multiple means of streams of income too. My wife, she's a realtor as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she got the real estate going. For those of you who want to buy a house and stuff too, her company's Ready Real Estate.
Ready Real Estate.
Ready Real Estate. Yeah. We're looking to buy, and she got her own investment property where she flip houses too. So yeah. Yeah, man. We getting it over here, Cole.
we need to talk to her. Show our portfolio of what we got going on around this camp.
Yeah, we might have to add her on this commercial log over here with the Lonestar Sports Show.
we can put you out there with some people
exactly
where the money is very reasonable.
Yeah. No.
But our he's the editor of TexasBoysBasketball.com. Honey, what's the young man's name that you have that's over at SMU that from Tyler, Texas?
Judah Bell.
Have you had a chance to check him out?
From Tyler, Texas at SMU?
Yeah, he's at SMU, Judah Bell, right. I guess he should.
No, I haven't had a chance. The kids that I have at SMU is James Prochet. That's one of my guys at SMU. He's gonna be an up and coming receiver. Mm-hmm. So look out. He made freshman All-American a few years ago.
Portia is the kid out of DeSoto, isn't he?
Yeah, the kid out of DeSoto.
I think he played at Prime Prep. I think it's the first time his name.
Yeah, he played at Prime Prep and finished at DeSoto.
That's why I remember that name. Yeah, that's the first time he jumped on the scene over there at Prime Prep.
Oh yeah.
Well, how many guys? If we talked about guys getting ready for injury, and I talked to Snoop about this a lot, and have my thoughts about it. How many guys have you dealt with that are coming off of toe injuries? And how difficult is that, and do you have a certain way that you go about addressing that or dealing with that to get guys where they need to be? Because I mean a toe injury is hard on anybody, but I don't think it could be any harder on it more than it is on receivers.
Yeah, how they cutting and planting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've dealt with a few, not a lot, but I've dealt with a few. Emmanuel, when he came out with his broke foot, out of Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. So we did a lot of stability stuff with him. So instead of starting him off doing a lot of drills, I put him on the Bozu ball.
On the ball.
So we use with his just strengthening up his ankle. Mm-hmm. So having him stand on the Bozu ball with his socks on, just one leg at a time, throwing the balls on him, just getting him used to just balancing and strengthening that ankle, and doing both of them too, not just one. Yeah. Because you don't want to have one getting stronger and not getting the other one stronger. So we did a lot of stuff like that. And also another tight end that's been in the NFL for 5 years. I've been working with him for about 3. Jerron Ham plays for the 49ers. He broke his leg a few years ago.
Okay.
So we had to go from scratch with him and take it easy with him and stuff like that, getting him going. But I've been fortunate enough not to train, too many guys that's coming off of a broken foot or ankle or stuff like that. Right. So yeah, most of my guys have been pretty healthy.
Now let me run another one at you, and I'm gonna let you and Snoop kind of handle it a little bit, because I mean I'm real intrigued by you.
You said that about 30 minutes ago. I'm gonna say this and get out the way and let you and Snoop go. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, we get my last run. And you did come in and handle it. Now I'm coming back in.
Go ahead.
I mean, every segment I get in and say something.
That's an extra 20 seconds you just said that. Come on, man.
See what I got to deal with right here, man. That's 20 seconds of your time with my man.
Go ahead.
And my time with him. I got him right now, one-on-one. One of the big issues that we have in basketball with trainers are guys are drilling and doing a lot of skill development, but at the same time, their instincts and their decisions and choices that they make on the court don't necessarily translate into them being a good player. In other words, they can dribble with their left and they can dribble with their right, and they maybe have good shooting form and a lot of things that they're going through drill-wise. How much does that translate over football, that instincts and choices and reads? How much is that a part of what you do? And that's the problem that we have, is just IQ and ability to read defenders and make the right decision. How much do you get into? How much of that do you get into with your process, or is it just all just sharpening his knife and then he's got to figure out how to play, or how does that work?
Oh no, definitely. Everything that we do, that I do, drill wise, before we start any drill, and I always put them through a different scenario. So, for instance, we may be doing a comeback drill, and at the top of the comeback drill, I may play DV at the top of the route, so they can have a visual doing a drill, and then you're doing a drill. So at the top of the route, once you break down, to burst out of your break and finish the route, because remember, it's a defender coming at you. And then some drills I may do a speed cut drill where I have them, sticking on one leg, and I make the cones kind of set up like a ladder, and I might trail them. So like if the defensive back is in two men or man free and they're trailing you, and then at the top of the route before you break in or out, you got to lose them. So we do a lot of scenario drills like that. So you have to do that. You can't just do the technique drills and stuff because they got to play and they got to understand why they're doing all of this stuff. And that's the one thing that I really harp on is why. They got to understand why.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed now, David, because I mean that's one of the biggest problems that we have in basketball right now. Both Snoop Johnson and I both are NCAA certified basketball scouts. I cover the whole state.
That's why he's the guru, coach.
Yeah, but
that's why he's the guru. I told you before he did this, if he'd have stayed in coaching, he could have been a head high school coach right now.
No, and I believe that, but it's just so much skill development stuff out there, and guys can't think, they can't read, they can't play. Yeah. They're talented. Yeah, they can't play, and I mean I don't know. Like I said, I'm so
ripping and running.
I'm so far away from football now, from the whole deal, but with the ability to do that.
But that's what people want to hear what he just said a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
That was a good question. That was one of the best questions you had. You on a good roll because you asked some good questions.
Yeah, that was a good question, Coach. That was a real good question.
In San Antonio, Coach, I want to commend you. You had some good interviews going in San Antonio. Your questions have really went up.
Coach, you put some quality guests. You put some quality guests in front of me.
Okay. I got the guests in front of you right now.
Yeah, quality guests. Yeah. I had Will Wade, the head coach, and I got a guy that just come up, the head coach over at Texas Tech, and Elite Eight. So I had quality people.
Now you got Dave.
Now I got Dave. Yeah, I can come up with some good stuff to ask.
Dave, let me ask you this because I know the answer, but I know that there's been several colleges and universities with the guys, because y'all train these guys. Y'all been training kids starting, as early as 8, 9 years old, and then y'all have the best of the best, the top guys in the state of Texas. In high school, y'all training them. How many times have you probably been approached, by the colleges, and now with the guys with the exposure to this, what'll happen if an NFL team comes and want your services? Are you open to that? Or are you looking to build your brand and take it to the sky's the limit? What are you looking at?
Yeah. I've been offered several college coaching opportunities from universities. SMU was one of them. Baylor, You know, when McGuire got the job, got up there, TCU. I've had a few NFL guys that I played with in high school that were scouts and GMs, or not GMs, but receiver coaches or position coaches in the NFL that, you know, have talked to me about, you know, being a scout for them. I've had some CFL teams reach out to me. Yeah. So my next move for right now is continue to build my brand, but eventually I see my next, 5 years or so, probably being an NFL coach.
So you open to
NFL? I'm open to being NFL receiver coach. Yeah. Okay. But as far as college, I don't know. That's not real. That's not real stable.
Yeah. Not stable in their recruiting process.
Well, to let people know, Dave. I mean, I know he opened up early saying he was subbing at Kimball and everything, but people don't realize David doesn't just have a degree; he has his master's. Okay. I remember. He finished. That was Dallas Baptist. I think he was doing it. Your master's.
Yeah, I got my master's degree from
Dallas Baptist. So so David has all the qualifications if he wants to go be a college coach or whatever thing, because he has that degree and everything. I know some people when they hear he was a substitute teacher. People might question your credentials.
He keeping his flexibility. That's what he was doing, so he go do some other things.
Yeah. Well, say, Dave, man, we appreciate you being on here, man, and giving us that last segment. It's gonna really. I know the ratings gonna shoot up tonight.
Appreciate you, man.
With us getting the opportunity, just to be a part of the roller coaster. You didn't have to. The national guy. I wish we'd have jumped in there before them guys and got the exclusive. I didn't take advantage of my sources on that.
Yeah.
Well, man. You my boy. I love everything y'all doing, man. I love it.
Oh yeah.
And if anybody that's listening or anything like that want to get into contact with me,
that's what I was going to ask.
Or they want receiver. My website is drobalwaysopen.com. My Instagram and Twitter is @drobalwaysopen. Okay. And also April 15th, me and Emmanuel Sanders and Clay Matt, we having a big football extravaganza camp at John Paul High School, April 15th from 12 to 5 p.m.
That's in
Plano, 5-hour camp.
Yeah. That's in Plano.
It's in Plano, Texas, a 5-hour camp. So if they want to register, all you got to do is just go to my Instagram, drobalwaysopen, and just click on the link in my bio. And you can get your tickets that way.
I'm gonna make sure we figure that out, and we're gonna put that out and try to get some impressions on it. We got about 20,000 followers around here. Yeah, they're basketball people. They tired with football some kind of way too.
Good. I mean, a lot of them parents got kids that play both sports. At that age, they playing both sports. They don't know what they want to do right now.
They playing both sports. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, man. You got Emmanuel Sanders, 2-time Pro Bowler. Being one Super Bowl champion, and when kids see him and meet him, man, they just gonna be in awe, because he's not a big guy. He's like 5'9", 5'10", like 170.
Yeah. I remember when he was over there at SMU, because B Hamp was over there trying to recruit him.
Yeah.
That would be Hamp Sports Agency days. B Hamp was over there. He said, "Man, I got to get Emmanuel Sanders, man."
Yeah. Well, hey. We need to make sure that we got all of David Robinson's social media stuff there. And
he just said it. He just said it a few minutes ago.
So we'll go back and listen to it on the show. I'd like to have it written down, so I can go digging back through it, trying to find it. I can just hit a tweet real good. We'll put you out there, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Really proud of everything you're doing. I'm actually impressed with you.
Coach, he's already out there. Huh? He's already out there. You say you finna get him out there. He's already out there.
About getting him out there.
You say I'm finna put him out there.
I said I'm gonna put a tweet out there about the camp to try to drive guys toward the camp.
Yeah.
Right. I know who he is out there.
Tell you, boy, you try to handle people. Dad, you gotta watch Brandon. I'm telling you, he'll slide it in there. Then he'll act like he don't know what he'll act like he don't know what he's doing.
How am I gonna get the dude out there? I'm trying to help the guy with it. To show our appreciation. Yeah. You need to be chiming in and helping him too.
Say that right there.
I'm saying all that. Boy, the joke right here, boy. Boy, I catch you.
I love it, man. I love it.
I'll catch you at Starbucks. We can chop it up real good.
Hey, you can see I missed the production meeting, boy.
Hey, so y'all gonna be better than being in skin here in a minute
now. we working that, man. We keep on getting guys like your kind of support, man. We always have a chance to make it, man. We appreciate you reaching back and helping us with this process, man. And I thought you said some quality things. We get ready to dive off the break. Actually, are over. right now. Thank you so much for coming on. We had
Appreciate
David
you,
Robinson,
Dave. Appreciate you, Dave.
alwaysopen.com. Go
Proud
check
of
him
you.
out. Look at the camp. Everything's going on. Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. All things sports, all things Texas. Today's show is brought to you by fastmallsports.com. This particular segment that you listen to is brought to you by Hartem Hotels. Hartem Hotels
There go your water
is
over there,
located right over there. HartemHotels.com, right there in Houston, Texas. Go take a look at putting your money where you sleep. Back in 110 seconds.
Drink you some water, man. Over there. Pausing.
That's why I got the water.
Appreciate it, Dave. Hey, we back here at the Lone Star Sports Show. This next segment is sponsored by Hartem Hotels. Hartem Hotels. We just got a chance to spend some time with those guys this past weekend down in San Antonio. Had them on the show and everything.
You did a good job.
You know.
Good job. I figured out why I gotta have some water over here and why my throat get dry and all that right there.
Tell me why.
Cause I'm having to carry you all the time. Man.
Oh.
You jump in, start teaming up and helping a little bit. And then I won't. I won't need so much water.
Yeah.
You're overworking me.
Yeah.
I just figured that out. Today you stepped up and kind of helping a little bit.
Yeah. Hey.
I know I wasn't nearly as fatigued as I normally am.
Hey, coach. Remember, Anna, you remember down in San Antonio, I told you, I said, boy, my back show is hurting. Remember I told you that at the hotel that one time? I said,
You did say that.
I think I got to stretch out. Go get. I said my back hurting. You said something about you said something about some stiffness or something like that. And you know why my back is hurting? My back is hurting because I've been carrying this joker right here for how many episodes?
Is that why your ankle was hurting too?
Ankle swole up and everything. I'm steady down there. I'm steady carrying.
They call it birthdays. That's what your problem is.
Got to put the right shoes on.
You gotta put the right shoes on. Hell,
Can't be walking around with the same shoes I didn't walk around.
No. Them boys, they don't even know they got
to start having some cushion in that bad
Yeah,
boy.
you want to take care of
Remember
yourself.
I walked at the barbershop over there. I walked about 3 or 4 miles.
Oh, yeah, you sure did that morning.
And I had to
Tried
walk
to get you a ride.
Yeah, I should have had some cushion on them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you get a
That's
car.
what got me on it.
Yeah.
I didn't invest in me. And what we talking about, another good pair of loafers, man, for all that walking going on. I like to stay in my tennis shoes now.
Yeah. Then I walked down to the show. You and we wasn't but a couple of blocks down from the show from the hotel. So I walked down there. I had my loafers on then. That didn't help none right there.
No.
We should have jumped in there and paid that $2 or $3 Uber and went on about our
Because ain't no
business.
such thing as a $2 or $3
Okay.
Uber. They start out at $6.
Okay.
I thought it was that too. I was doing
Yeah.
a little moving around today when I get in the car and stuff, and without it, and there's no such thing as a sub $6
Well,
Uber.
I know we went over a little bit with Dave, but that was some good educating,
No, it's
good
good
stuff
man.
right there.
No,
Well,
I want
let's-
to make sure we get those tweets out too, man, and support him on social media,
Yeah.
man. With the kids, it's what he has to offer to our kids in the
Yeah.
community. That's what I'm concerned about, him being part of.
Yeah, let's see what it's real early, but the season just ended.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So a lot of things become a
we don't
lot of
even-
movement, a lot of reality.
For the NBA, I mean, we don't even know who's we don't even know the draft order right now.
You know, the draft order and all that's gonna change some things and make things adjust and whatever. But right now, I mean, when you look at it, and we're in a situation right now, we've got about 10 guys. I'm gonna throw a couple guys in that are actually not Texas guys, but they have Texas ties and or some kind of type of relationship. Right now, we're looking at Bamba. I thought Trey Young is from Norman, Oklahoma. Let me be clear. I haven't lost my geographics. I'm not confused. Or I didn't hit my head. But he just, in some way, kind of another, just spent so much time over here, kind of adopted him, knowing Rafer, way we do. So I always include him part of the process. Robert Williams, Louisiana kid. Matter of fact, some coach just texted me a few minutes ago trying to get ready for the Lone Star Challenge. But Robert Williams is there at Texas A&M. He's a Louisiana kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got Zaire Smith. We don't say anything for Zaire. Zaire.
That's what I was going to ask you. Has Zaire? I mean, I know he's going to test, but has he already formally made his decision to test? I mean, anytime your name is running in the top 20, you got to go give yourself a chance.
Yeah. No, he hasn't. To my knowledge.
No, there hasn't been anything.
Nothing yet. Okay. That's probably you probably gonna get something in the next probably next
3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days.
Yeah, first part
even though
next
he got way more time than that.
Yeah,
But if you're gonna do it, you might as well kind of enter the process.
Yeah, he's got to get ready and there. But I mean, I'm impressed. He's sitting there right now at 19. Has been as low as 16 at one time. It's one thing about we got 2 guys right here that are Texas kids. If I don't ever tell you anything else, Coach, Kerwin Roach and Zaire Smith. If one thing I've learned in my observations, if either one of those kids go to Chicago and make a few shots and show well, these are athletes that are comparable to the Westbrook kid.
They both. One thing about them, both of them will be invited to Chicago.
Right, they'll be invited to Chicago.
Yeah,
and they're the kind of kids that could go there and get and it could get a little tricky, Coach.
Yeah,
it could really, really get a little tricky. I had Zaire projected to play at least 2 years of college basketball.
Well, that's what I looked at. I looked at 2 to 3 years. I felt like that first year that he would do some things because of his athleticism and people not targeting him, as that guy, and his energy just, he's so he's just so mobile. He just moves so much, and then if you don't even put a hand on him or a body on him, he's gonna touch the basketball.
Right.
But Coach, let's go over. Let me. We got some names that have already put their name in the draft and decided to go with agents. That means they're in.
You can't go back. Let's talk
about
those.
Back. I'm gonna press some names off, but and some of those names gonna catch your eye and be like, okay, all right, but okay. Sure. DeAndre Ayton, that's a given. Arizona, he's supposed to get an agent. Probably had one before he went to college. Marvin Bagley.
Let the FBI tell it.
Yeah. Oh, let him tell it. Marvin Bagley at Duke. He should have an agent. Probably been talking about it for the last 2 years or so. Mo Bamba, his brother already came on earlier this year.
I don't think he got to be the agent.
I'm talking about they had to figure that out and clean that up for him over there. Right. He had that look on his face.
He was mad because he wasn't the agent.
Miles Bridges over at Michigan State, that's no secret. Last year he was doing, he decided to hold on, so everybody knew he wasn't going to wait. He was going all in this year. Miles Bridges. Then you got Tony Carr over there at Penn State. That's going to be a surpriser. I don't know how many people really watched the Big Ten. I got a chance to. I didn't watch it during the year, but I watched it.
Penn State has.
I watched during the year.
So
that's a guy.
I've heard those guys talking to me about it.
That's a guy that can climb right there. Tony Carr. Remember that name? Eric Davis Jr. from Texas, with an agent.
But in actuality, Coach, I'm going to defend his choice, and the reason I'm going to defend his choice is because he'll never get back in college basketball.
Okay.
He's going to be alienated.
That's right. He was part of one of the situations where they.
Yeah, he doesn't have any choice.
That's right.
He's a kid that's stuck in like one of those eternal suspensions.
Yeah.
So he didn't have any choice but to go and figure it out.
Yeah,
from
nobody
there.
gonna fool. Yeah, he did right. Okay.
Yeah.
Eric Davis. Then you got Aaron Holiday over at UCLA. He's played well. Then Jaren Jackson, which I think is gonna be a top 3 or 4 pick out of Michigan State. Really impressed with his upside. Brandon McCoy, long kid over at UNLV.
Yeah. I remember him in high school.
He'll be a 20s on down in the draft over there. You said that go back to what you was talking about knowing how to play. Training versus knowing how to play. Yeah. And that's where he'll make it later on, but that's gonna catch him early. Yeah. Like over in Chicago, it'd be some guy do some thing. He might mess around and catch 1 or 2 off the rim to catch somebody, get somebody's attention. Okay, then you got Jack McVay over there in Nebraska. I think Jack, if I'm not mistaken, was a transfer from somewhere. That name ring a bell, Jack McVay. Then you got the USC guys. You got DeAnthony Melton, and you got Chimenzi Matua. I'm going to tell you this. Both of them getting agents, they kind of bring up, remember USC was involved in the FBI stuff.
Right. No, there's some things.
These guys played decent, but I think these guys ain't taking no chance. Let's get on out the door.
Yeah. Well, you get over there and you get caught walling around with the NCAA and get some kind of suspension, and you can't play there, and you get to miss the draft.
Because the FBI going back in the offseason.
Yeah, they're going back. They're going back in as of now.
Yeah, they didn't want to kill the game. That's too big of a.
It's a distraction.
It's too big of a thing. The NCAA, that's too big. Okay, let's go on down. Michael Porter Jr. We knew that was going to happen over in Missouri. He got an agent. His brother will probably be next. if I'm not, then you got the kid Anthony Simmons,
who's a fifth-year kid.
That's a fifth-year kid.
Yeah,
Went over to IMG prep. He went over to IMG prep.
SMU had been recruiting him a whole lot, but he's
right.
gone.
You got the kid Spalding over there at Louisville. I don't know if you caught them. Yeah, he played well. He was one of the guys that kind of held it together, gave him a chance. Got a chance to come out of nowhere, like the kid over there with the Utah Jazz.
Mitchell.
Like Mitchell. Mitchell was a Louisville guy that people didn't really see it there. But got a chance to kind of blow it up a little bit. But watch that one. Alonzo Trier, of course, he was tired of his name come up in some of the FBI stuff. He had to even sit out some games this past year. I don't think that was a part of the FBI investigation. But he had to sit out
some games about substance abuse.
He had the substance abuse. No, but he had two things. He had the substance abuse, and then he had improper gifts or something. He said out
amateurism.
Amateurism. He said out twice.
I remember
it was something minor. It was something minor where he had where they was able to pay the money back. But he still, and then last Trey Young. So we knew Trey Young is going
projected 7. I mean, all of those.
He's going to get.
There's not one person that you've named. Well, I mean, a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them I wasn't familiar with, but everyone there has a justified reason for being on that part of the list.
Right.
That's the whole deal. I want to run over some of the guys that are tied to Texas.
That's just testing the waters.
Yeah, that's
PJ Washington just jumped in.
Yeah, testing the waters. Okay, I didn't even know about that one. And I'm talking about some of the guys that are on the draft board.
Okay,
and we're gonna be coming back here in a little bit. We'll come back, but right now, in the first round, right now, Bamba, Trey Young, Robert Williams, Zaire Smith, Trayvon Duvall. Okay, that's the end of our first round projections of guys that have full blown Texas ties right now that are on one of the draft boards, probably one of the more reliable draft boards.
NBA Draft Net.
Right.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
All of that'll change once we get the guys who actually.
Yeah, it's a constant moving. Yeah. This thing here moves. It'll be time stamped. It's moving about every 24 to 36 hours.
And that's those guys' opinions right now. Now when you start getting into more of the combine and stuff like that, now you're gonna start hearing more GMs. Now they're getting some, they're getting information from GMs and stuff like that.
I have a guy, a buddy of mine. I don't think he's with them anymore out of the Bay Area. That worked for them.
He's not with them anymore.
No, he's not with them anymore. Right? Yeah. But when he was there with them, he spent his time, just like we spent our time doing at the high school to college level. He spent his time pretty much calling and checking sources and coming up with information.
Well, I know we finna go pay some bills, but I want something on your mind, and we're going to come back and target this. We knew Shake Milton was going to test the water. Jeray Foster, he's testing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that when we come back.
We're going to talk about the guys that are testing the water that are on the board and was not on the board. Back at 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show, where we're doing it where it's supposed to be. This particular segment is brought to you by the Lone Star Challenge, Texas grassroots basketball, right there at Cedar Hill High School, where the NCAA certified event is sure to draw 100-plus college coaches there because we got prospects coming from 7 to 8 states right now. They're going to tally that all back up. Got a good group coming out of Chicago now that just got involved with the situation of completing all their registration and doing everything that they're doing. But we're right here at the Lone Star Sports Show. This particular segment is brought to you by the Lone Star Challenge. Go take a look at TexasGrassrootsBasketball.org to learn more. I think we still have some positions in the varsity and JV division, but varsity elite is getting all cleaned up and pretty much is down to a waiting list. Be back in about 120 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. Hit subscribe so you can be reminded every day, every Tuesday and Thursday when we're giving it to you. All things sports, all things Texas. Back in 60 seconds.
Hey, we back here at the Lonestar Sports Show, 7:30. Over here in Oak Cliff, Texas. This next segment right here is sponsored by Harlem Hotels. Harlem Hotels spent some time with us last week in San Antonio, Texas, right there off the Riverwalk at the Leaping Lizard. Want to thank the Leaping Lizard for their hospitality, hosting the Lonestar Sports Show, and we want to thank Harlem Hotel for coming around, spending some time with us, and all their support for the Lonestar Sports Show and the Lonestar Sports Network. Coach, we know we hadn't had the official draft lottery, so we don't know what order these guys are going to be in right now. But I want to play something. I want to kind of go down the list, and let's just say these guys are in these positions. Okay, you know the players that's involved right now, but I want to play you as the GM. You the GM, you the owner, the president, coach, or whatever. You know, let's start off first pick in the draft. If it was as is right now, and let's just say the Phoenix Suns on the clock. Phoenix Suns on the clock.
Well, the thing about it is,
who would be your pick and why?
You cannot pass up on DeAndre Ayton.
And your reason?
I think his defense will be fine, but to have a guy with that size, that athleticism, to be that offensively polished at that age.
Gotcha.
That's my reasons. At roughly 20 years old, he's polished to a point that you can't get that. You can't find it. I mean, he's that unique of a talent, that will have the ability to can't miss all-star. I mean, if you weren't Phoenix or whoever's there, let's say they don't need this guy, you still take this guy. Do you realize how much value he has?
Yeah.
Hell, you can go get you a whole nother team for him.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's my reasoning there.
All right, let's move on down to the Memphis Grizzlies at 2. A lot of different ways you can go there. You still got, they still kind of going through a youth movement. You got Mike Conley Jr. still there. Does Mike Conley return? Or did he get traded? You still got Gasol. I mean, do they go make it a complete youth movement?
What do they look like at the point guard position?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They kind of moving around. You got Mike Conley still there, been hurt.
Mike Conley.
Then you got Andrew Harrison played a lot. Got a lot of that time.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Okay.
He got a lot of that time while Conley was out.
That's a tricky deal right there. I mean, everybody's saying that Marvin Bagley is a no-brainer that you got.
Everybody's not saying it. The people you're looking at saying it.
Well,
everybody's not saying it.
All the stuff that I've been reading.
People are saying it. Not everybody, because I didn't say it. Yeah. You ain't said it. So everybody ain't said it.
Because I'm here to go against it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I had to watch you with some of them words. You got to, when you say everybody, that's everybody.
Yeah, well, that's
people are saying. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
But that's what's so.
Some of the experts. Some of the experts are saying. Okay, go ahead.
Some of the so-called experts.
Go ahead.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead. You're on the clock.
On the clock there. I feel that what I've seen about Memphis.
They need a lot of stuff, don't they?
They need a lot of stuff. Yeah. And Bagley is that type of a talent.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
got strong Memphis roots.
Yeah. Right.
First time we saw him, remember he was playing with the
We
All Can Go group.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a reasoning for it. I don't think they need a Kevin Knox. The point guard position.
You getting rid of Conley? You trading Conley right now?
Well, we can.
They gave him over $200 million.
Yeah.
So ain't nobody just taking him from him.
Okay, you better brought a lot of clarity to it.
Conley's still young now, Coach. He's still young, just injuries.
Yeah. Well, I mean that Coach.
He's still young though.
Coach,
he's an all-star.
The best talent or the best deal is availability.
Availability. Yeah.
You're not doing me any good if you're not ever available.
If he ain't available.
Right.
So who is Alan Branch, GM, president of the Memphis Grizzlies? Who are you taking right there?
I'm looking at a Trey Young or Colin Sexton.
I mean you can't take both. You looking at them. Everybody looking at them. Who you picking?
I think the ability to play with some of the personnel that I've seen that they have there, that Colin Sexton is a little bit stronger, a little bit better look for them.
Okay, so Colin Sexton is your second pick to Memphis.
Memphis
okay,
Grizzlies.
so the Atlanta Hawks are on the clock now.
Atlanta Hawks on the clock.
On the clock.
I'm going exactly with what they got based on what I've seen. They need Michael Porter.
You're going Michael Porter to the Atlanta Hawks. Okay. So that was quick. All right. Next team on the clock is the Orlando Magic.
You can take Bagley because they passed on him. I'll go get Bagley now. There.
Go get Bagley right there.
Right there.
Okay. All right. Next team on the clock, home team, Dallas Mavericks.
A little sensitive there, you know. You've got Dennis, who's not going anywhere. I think that they don't have a versatile, big perimeter guy. I'm going and getting Kevin Knox right there.
Okay.
I like Kevin Knox right there.
Kevin Knox to the Mavericks.
Okay.
All right. Next pickup, the Sacramento Kings. Got some pieces they putting together over there.
They got the right. This particular group here has the right position that they need. Is he the right guy that fits? Who they should take or the right piece? You know, you got Bamba still sitting there. You know, and then so Bamba's still available. I'm Sacramento.
You got your point guard of the future.
No, you got that.
De'Aaron Fox.
I'm going. I'm going with a Muhammad.
They solid at
Bamba.
the 2 guard. They got the foreign kid and Buddy Hield.
Yeah,
so they good there.
They're there. They need front line guys.
Okay,
but
they got all the young Kentucky kids over there. They got all them boys over there.
But you can't ever have. I mean, somebody's got to.
Who you going? So who you going with?
I'm going with Bamba.
Okay, you going Bamba to Sacramento. Okay, all right. So next on the clock is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Next on the clock is the Cleveland Cavaliers
by way of trade.
Yeah, but by way of trade, going into that situation. Yeah, I like Trae Young now.
Yeah, that's LeBron's Kyrie replacement.
Yeah, that's right. I like
stretch, shoot it.
That's exactly right.
LeBron's a big fan of him, so LeBron's gonna be making that pick anyway. He so whoever he's
that's the truth.
If you follow LeBron, whoever he's a big,
I'm just laughing. But
whoever he's a big fan of, that's who's getting picked right there.
It is the truth.
Yeah, whether they got to trade some people to create some positions for them,
or whatever. Yeah.
That's where he's going. So that's a quick one right there. Next on the clock at 8 is the Chicago Bulls.
And Chicago Bulls are all over the place so much. I mean, from time they dismantle that operation to start back over.
They putting some pieces together.
And when I look down, they already got rid of Colin Sexton.
Well, they got Zach LaVine over there. You know, he's healthy now.
Yeah, Zach is a good piece. He's a good piece there. I think the boy at Michigan State gives them the kind
Which one, Bridges or Jared Jackson or Big Jackson?
No, Miles Bridges.
Okay, Miles Bridges. Okay,
yep.
okay. Midwest kid.
Right. Yeah, he'll be at home there, and he'll feel good about it. You know, a lot of that stuff is really, really important when you come down to it. A lot of people have Wendell Carter as a top 10 pick. He just didn't show me. I think he's going to be a good player in the NBA.
So that's why I'm about to go next. Let's go to the New York Knicks.
New York.
So who are you sending to Chicago? You said Bridges.
Yeah.
Okay. So who you sending to New York? Who you going to? Who going to the Knickerbockers?
Knickerbockers. I'm going back and getting the big fella that I passed on earlier over there. That's at Michigan State.
Big Jackson.
Big Jackson. Right.
Okay. Big Jared Jackson goes to the Knicks. The Knicks do need some more front line help to go with Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis. I mean, Porzingis is a skill. I mean, he's a versatile hybrid four type guy.
All right, and to round off our top 10
is
the Philadelphia 76ers are trending up.
Yeah, they're trending up. Philadelphia 76ers there. They not trending up enough. If they get a chance, they should be trying to possibly take somebody like that. But I think that
somebody like what?
You know, they got those guys there that they're looking at, the small forward, shooting guard type guys that everybody's projecting. But what I saw with them was a situation that need a more versatile, doggish type guy. I mean, I could almost drop down and that doesn't need a lot of basketball. They don't need nobody over there that need no more touches of basketball, right?
No. Well, and remember, J.J. Redick is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking for another specialist right there.
Yeah, somebody that can shoot the basketball like that. I mean, I don't think Gary Trent is a great situation. I think the Robert Williams kid is intriguing right there. You know, Philadelphia does not need any more help putting the ball in the hole. They need more help rebounding, defending, versatility, front line type guy that can guard the 4 and the 5. That's what I would think that what I've seen of them. And the question is, I'm trying to figure out who do you take for that?
Do you think they trade the pick?
That's a great point.
Philly?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think they trade it, especially if it ends up being a top 10 pick. You got to realize they're still a young team. So what do you want to go with a young team? Some more young talent, you know.
I don't know.
I like Robert Williams.
Because I was wondering if you were thinking that they would need more veteran leadership.
Well, they can see. That's what I'm saying. See, some of these guys they're gonna be. The whole team is not rookies. First, second round pick.
That's true.
They got some guys that they brought in on 1-year deals. They did a great job of not committing anything long term while they build this team. They brought J.J. Redick in on a 1-year deal. You know, so that's some money that's gonna be there. You know, when they make a decision on them, I don't think that they go with J.J. Redick long term. That's why I'm really looking at. You know, they'll probably try to go Markelle Fultz in that spot right there. So I'm like you. You said it earlier that they need more of a kind of a doggish guy sitting over there at the 3-4. You know, at the 3-4 spot. You know, so I'm looking at a guy like Wendell Carter. You know, from Duke. You know, Wendell Carter. A lot of times, Coach.
There you go. I missed him, Coach. You're right.
A lot of times you watch.
I was looking down at Robert Williams.
Yeah, a lot of times you watch guys that some of these guys that leave Duke don't get an opportunity to showcase all of their
You think he has some David West in him?
You could say that he got more Al Horford to me.
Yeah,
got more Al Horford.
Not as much bounce and not as much pop.
No, he got bounce. That's the thing.
I mean, what you talking about, David
West?
Oh yeah, David West. But David West was athletic early, coming out of Xavier.
Right.
But I'm saying this is the thing that I think he's not. I think this is what's gonna get you with Carter. I saw Carter twice in the tournament, especially against Kansas, when he got an opportunity, he had to face up. And that's what I think he's gonna be big in the NBA. See, you saw him at Duke because of Bagley.
Right.
Both of them can't be up top.
Right.
So Bagley with more skill set.
Maybe he's got
Carter had to be the guy with his back to the basket, and I don't think that's his strength. I think that's gonna help him.
It's good to have that.
I think it's going to help him.
He's a lot more versatile than what I think.
I think he's more versatile. I saw him take a couple of jump shots, and I'm saying this ain't the first time he took them jump shots.
Right.
So I think he got the potential to do some Al Horford in him. You
might be right on that. I could definitely see that. We're going to go to break right quick, come back, and we'll talk a little bit more.
You surprised me with Kevin Knox. Boy, you had Kevin Knox up there pretty high.
I like Kevin Knox.
Yeah, no, I like him too.
Yeah. Back here at the Lone Star Sports Show at 180 Seconds Today. Show is brought to you by FastSmallSports.com. This particular segment is brought to you by the Lone Star Challenge with the TexasGrassrootsBasketball.org, April the 20th through the 22nd. We'll be there in Cedar Hill, Texas, where there'll be teams from 7 to 8 states, over 100 plus college coaches, and over 50 to 60 varsity elite division, which will host to probably another 300 college next level prospects out of that division. Right here at the Lone Star Sports Show on the Lone Star Sports Network. All things sports, all things Texas. Be back with you in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. Hey, here we are at the Lonestar Sports Show, returning for the last segment. Like we like to say, we're in the red zone, down in the paint. We're doing a little football. This is the best time of the year in sports. We got the Masters coming up this weekend. I'm going to work hard, but I don't want to work so hard. I don't just to watch the little Masters. I'm going to go look at them early and come on back in and sit down and give me an adult beverage and watch a little bit of the
I'm
Masters.
going to be lined up into that Masters, Coach.
I'm going to say this right quick, and we ready to go to the mock draft with Snoop Johnson here is going to go through his 10. But I'm going to say this to anybody, any golf people that might be listening. I am taking everybody over 40 against the field in this Masters. That's what I'm doing. I'll take anybody in the field, anybody over 40. I will take that. You won't have anybody. In other words, I'm saying that the winner will be over 40. Okay. So that's and I love Jordan Spieth, but that Masters is a monster of a course. Yep. But right now, Coach, if I can put you on the clock right off the bat, right there, you have the number 1 pick, and you at Phoenix.
Where you at Phoenix? You going with DeAndre Ayton? We won for one. Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, you don't go with the other guys because you already.
Why did you draft DeAndre Ayton? I mean, no matter who you are in that spot, no matter who ends up in the number 1 pick. Well, do you agree?
My thing is this.
Is there anybody that doesn't draft DeAndre Ayton?
Well, I mean, it's a conversation, Coach. I mean, Marvin Bagley is in that conversation. He's in that conversation, But the reason you take Ayton is because you look at their draft pattern. And over their draft pattern, they went in and got their shooting guard with Booker. They probably going to go with a veteran point guard. They finished up with Ulis and all those guys. But they're going to probably go with a veteran, get them a veteran this year. But they got their shooting guard, Booker. They went and got Jackson.
You got 2 good players right there. I like
two
both
good
of those
players.
guys.
You got 2 for the long haul. You got 2 good players.
Right,
okay. And then before that, you got the boy Chris out of Washington. Chris was playing center, but Chris is really a 4.
I tell you, and DeAndre is going to be.
What's his name?
Marquise Chris.
You got Marquise Chris. When they took Marquise Chris, he was 18 years old. He's 21 years old now. So,
DeAndre is going to be happy in Arizona too because he spent all his time. He spent the last 4 or 5 years of his life there.
That's right. So so he's set to go ahead and take over for Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler probably comes back to Texas and maybe goes to the Clippers. I mean, goes back to L.A. It probably goes to the Clippers when they lose DeAndre Jordan. He'll probably go home and finish.
Who got DeAndre Jordan going?
He's leaving. He's gonna leave. They just couldn't get it done. He's gone. But I don't know where he end up. But he's out of there. That ain't what he signed up for. They ended up becoming a rebuilding team.
Kind of on the slide.
They
sure did.
Yeah. So that ain't what DeAndre signed up for. Doc might be gone himself. I think. That's what I think is going to happen. But I'm taking DeAndre Ayton at 1.
I Memphis.
I don't go with the point guard. I just don't believe that you give a guy $220 million, or $230 million, or whatever, $240 over the next 5 or 6 years, and now you're going to use the second pick on it. You got your point guard, all-star point guard in Conley. You got your all-star center in Gasol. You got to have a ball player, coach, between your 2 and 4. And I think the best ball player between there is Bagley. So I'm going with Marvin Bagley if Memphis is at that pick. And if you just take all the teams away and you just rating the players and all that, I mean, he's the next best talent.
I think he's
the next best talent. To get a guy like that at 6'11", this kid has the potential. He has the potential, coach, to be a matchup like Kevin Durant gives guys around this kid's 4th or 5th year in the NBA. He has a chance because of his ball handling ability. Doesn't shoot the ball bad. Once he stopped, once school is over, and all he's doing is focusing on basketball, coach, he's already skilled. We know how skilled he is. Yeah. He's just been in Duke's system, coach. He's another guy with his back to the basket. He's going to be in the NBA now.
No, I agree. So I'm not fighting you now one bit on that. I just feel like Kevin Knox is underrated, one of the most underrated players in this draft.
Well, I don't know if he's underrated as far as what people are looking for at that time, but you went with a point guard up there.
Yeah,
at 2. And I just don't think they're spending that kind of money and go take one of them young point guards that they have talent, but if they go for a point guard right there, coach, you going for one that you feel like is worth
a game changer.
Moving currently. That's a game changer. And if you do that, if you do that,
the problem that I feel and what bothers me in that situation is you're sitting there with Andrew Harrison. Andrew gonna play a lot, and I'm happy for him because he's a Texas kid, and he was my favorite of the two twins.
Well, I think what a team like Memphis does late in the draft. I don't think that Andrew Harrison is their long term. I think what they do is either go in free agency or they go late in or go in the second round and try to get a guy like Trayvon Duval. You know, because I believe Trayvon Duval is going to go in the draft. Either way it go, he's going to stay in it. You know, whether he's a second round pick and work his way through, I think he's going to stay in the draft. You know, and he hasn't done enough this year. I love him to death, but he hasn't done enough to get drafted in those first 30 picks. You know, but let's go ahead.
He hasn't. I agree with you.
It's a lot of politics.
I think he's talented enough.
We know he's talented enough. Okay, at 3 with
Atlanta.
Atlanta,
right.
The Atlanta team that I watched, they putting some pieces together. Porter fits that bill. I think the injury scares him a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be my shocker of the first round with the Atlanta Hawks. I'm going with Luke Dante. I remember seeing that guy in the what do they call that at the end of with the Nike Hoop Summit.
Summit. Right.
I saw him in the Hoop Summit last year.
Who was the kid again?
That's
Luka
the kid.
Doncic.
That's a kid from Russia, Slovakia or whatever. Slovenia.
6'8".
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
Really talented.
Coach. Really talented. Handles it, shoots it, and he fits the mold. That allows the Atlanta Hawks to go ahead.
You talking about the kid that's at Kansas?
No, he's an international
That's
player.
a kid. Well, I thought you. Yeah. I'm trying to. Okay, he's not on the draft board right now.
You got him right. They got him right there on your.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think he goes. I think he's one of the top 3 talents, and I think Atlanta, if they're there, they take him because of their style of play. He fits it. You know, he's a guy that shoots the 3, handles it, and they like to space the floor, kind of like the Spurs. You know, so I think.
I think him and Dennis Schroeder play well.
You know, you got Dennis Schroeder out there at the point, who's like a Rondo. Yeah. You know, he's turned into a hell of a facilitator, and he's shooting the ball well. Yeah. So I think they're gonna ride with. I think they're gonna stick with Schroeder. Schroeder he's real confident and cocky. You know, and I think they want that at their point. You know, that leader that gives the team. And then they like the left-handed kid that used to play with the Lakers. They kind of journeyed around a little bit his first couple of years as a second-round pick.
Talking about Bazemore?
And then Bazemore. They went on paid Bazemore. I like Bazemore more at the 2.
Yeah.
And, you know, because now he got size on those guys, but he has really, really developed himself into a scorer. You know, and being around L.A. that year and a half or whatever that he was there, I think he really picked up some things with Kobe finishing up that his confidence is off the roof too. You know, so I'm going right there with Atlanta, and then the next pick is the Orlando Magic. I'm going with Michael Porter Jr. To Orlando. I like the fit right there. He comes in and gives them that stretch 4 that they need. Fits that bill. Dallas Mavericks on the clock. Dallas Mavericks, you already called it. They already got their point guard in Dennis Smith. I think the Mavericks right now are in search of a 4-man. I think they're in search of a skilled 4-man right there. So I'm gonna go with Jaren Jackson from Michigan State. I like Jaren Jackson right there because with the reason I like him is because he has the ability for the Mavericks to not only play the power forward position, but he has the size and length to play that center when they want Dirk on the floor.
He one of those 5-out type of bigs.
Right, you know, but he still has the strength and power and length to go play the 5 when the Mavericks still want to go give Dirk his 19 to 20 minutes a game.
Right.
You know, sense. So I like him right there. Going to
6.
No, I think it's Sacramento, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, Sacramento 6.
Sacramento King. Oh, you said 6. Okay.
16.
Going to the Sacramento Kings. We already discussed it earlier. They already have their point guard of the future.
Yeah.
They like what they have at the 2. You know, with Buddy Hield and the foreign kid right there.
Right.
I apologize for not knowing his name off the top of my head. Bogdanovich. Yeah. I mean, Bogdanovich is going to be an all-star. Yeah. He's going to be an all-star in this league. At the 3 is where it's kind of shaky. You know, I mean, you know, they try
a versatile 3.
They even
play some 4.
They even got Vince Carter coming off the bench in that rotation right there. at that 3 spot. So they still trying to figure it out right there. So that's where I'm gonna go plug in Kevin Knox.
Anybody, I'm gonna say this. I'm going on record, and I don't consider myself to be a big NBA guy. Anybody that drafts Kevin Knox will not be disappointed.
Well, Kevin Knox got the size. Now, the one reason I don't like him at the 2, I don't like him defensively. I like him at the small forward. I like
small forward.
Dennis Scott type kid.
Yeah, there you go. I told you. There you go. I mean,
Coach. Coach, I tell you, you hang around me. I'm one of the better evaluators. I don't wake up just rambling off the top of my head. I watch these guys during the season and kind of pattern it. So this ain't just rambling. Okay, let me finish.
My problem is I don't have a feel for what some of these teams need.
Some of these teams? Yeah, I still watching the NBA. Watching Lakers and all that. It's all these guys. Okay, so now we got Cleveland on the clock. That's gonna be Trae Young. I mean, LeBron has been one of the biggest endorsers of Trae Young. It's no way Trae Young is on the board and doesn't go to Cleveland right there. If he don't go to Cleveland, that's because LeBron James had already told him he's out of there. So that won't happen.
Good indicator. Y'all heard that.
Yeah.
And I happen to agree with Snoop Johnson. All the rationale and everything is there, and all the indicators are in place. That's a fact. We got to get down here.
I'm going with all of the experts of NBA Draft Net. I'm going Colin Sexton. Chicago. They starting over. Go get you a guy that can help you sell tickets. You got Zach LaVine that's gonna be healthy. Zach's not a point guard. You let him develop at the 2.
That's gonna be interesting to watching that kid play, boy. At the point,
Colin Sexton is what you need. He's gonna fix the Derrick Rose where you lost Derrick Rose because he's gonna be entertainment. He's gonna be coach. The Chicago Bulls might not make the playoffs next year, but their fan base is gonna come back up with Colin Sexton and Zach LaVine in the backcourt. You got 2 high flyers. You got super speed in the backcourt, and they both have that flair. Okay. They had that flair to make the big plays.
You got 45 seconds.
And then we got the last team, the New York Knicks. I already told you. With the New York Knicks, I'm going. Oh no, I didn't. That was a few minutes ago. With the New York Knicks, I'm going Bamba from Texas.
Right. Yep.
Now I'm shaky on that right now because I really want to go with the kid. I really like the kid from Texas A&M. I really like Robert Williams right there. But
I had this conversation with not Snoop Johnson, with Tony Stubblefield the other day. I felt that Robert Williams.
He won't be down there. Where they have down there?
No. Yeah. After DeAndre Ayton, I think Robert Williams is probably one of your best frontline option type guys.
Yeah, just a talented draft though. I mean, a lot's gonna happen. A lot's gonna happen when the balls bounce around and you get a real order.
Yeah. I think the point guard position is a little, just kind of okay.
Yeah, you won't have but 2 point guards taken in the top 20. Maybe 25.
So you've heard it right there on the Lone Star Sports Show. Snoop Johnson and Alan Branch have given their opinions about the draft. You can go back and listen to it and see how wrong we are, how right we are.
At 10, Philadelphia, I like Miles Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
I like the kid from Michigan State. You said it earlier. They got their point guard. They got everything. They need some tough in the middle right there.
Right, yeah.
And we're going to put him at the 3.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges.
It's going to be an enforcer, physical, versatile, blue-collar dude, do a little bit of everything.
Tough, but skill.
But skill. Now, he can make plays, but it's got some fight to him.
The kid leaving out, I know you had the kid Kevin Knox as your sleeper. My sleeper is going to be Miles Bridges, the kid out of Villanova. I love him. Scottie Pippen.
I agree with that. I can't argue with that.
Scottie Pippen, Miles Bridges. I think he's going.
He's
going to excel in the NBA. He's going to be one that
Michael, you mean?
Yeah, Bridges. Michael. Yeah,
not Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges.
I say the same thing. I called myself the other day. I thought about it 2 days later. I said I didn't say Michael Bridges. I said Miles Bridges, and I was just having a conversation at the party.
That's him, Michael Bridges.
But one's the one we talking about, the one in Villanova, right? And I totally agree.
Talking about the champion.
The champion, right? Yeah. Lone Star Sports Show right here. All things sports, all things Texas. We wind down on another one. Greatest time in the year right now. Plenty going on. We'll be back on Basketball Thursday to entertain you with more Lone Star Sports Show. All things sports, all things Texas. We got some real interesting things that are going to be bringing on. It's going to be a hot piece that we're going to be announcing right there, and some people that are involved at the NBA level and at the college level on Basketball Thursday. We'll have some things to talk about, Coach.
I'm going to have me another shirt on. I'm going to have me another Under Armour shirt. Yeah. Fresh out the box.
Fresh out the box.
The bags. Yeah. Fresh out the bag.
On top of it.
Honey, you ain't got this one.
We're gonna get
you ain't got this one. You ain't got this one either.
No, I ain't got that. That's a little too flashy for me right there, Coach.
Yeah.
Back it up.
There you go.
Back on Thursday with more basketball Thursday.
Thank you,
More
UA.
Lonestar
Thank
Sports
you,
Show.
UA.
All things sports, all things Texas. We love all of y'all. Hey, have a good week. Let's get the rest of it in. We'll see you when we get ready to head back out on Thursday.